What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Welcome back to the Dead Meat Podcast, an extension of the YouTube channel Dead Meat. I'm James.
I'm Chelsea. We're engaged, and we like to get scared together. Hey, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to listen and or watch this podcast after our month off. If you're watching, you can see that we're on a new set.
Yeah.
That I put together this month.
This is all Chelsea. She made this amazing cassette tape rack and custom made all these little cassette tape
it took
inserts.
me a while. But
yeah.
I'm so happy with how that turned out. And yeah, I got mostly all the new stuff on here that you can see, like the rack for the cassette tapes, this on-air sign, this clock, all this kind of like these vintage masks and stuff, all from Etsy. So thank you, Etsy. Really.
Thank you, Etsy.
Yeah. On Instagram, I posted a picture of some of the stuff, and I tagged the shops, and so if you want to take a look, you can go look. But yeah, we were off because I had no surgery.
Yeah.
I had a deviated septum fixed. Thought that was gonna be easier than it was.
Yeah, you
they
didn't
really
have a good time, huh?
Well, like when they tell you about the surgery and you kind of Google like, okay, how long am I gonna be out of commission? They say, oh, it'll be like a week. You'll be recovering. You can technically go back to work in a few days. I think that's just a super American thing to, just like gotta give, if you can technically work, you can work. And like, I technically could have done stuff this week, but oh my God.
You weren't happy.
People warned me that this surgery was going to be a rough recovery. And I thought, yeah, it'll suck, but I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I only honestly can recommend having this procedure done if like you have a deviated septum and it's really affecting your life, which for me it was. My one nostril I couldn't really breathe through, and that sucked. But other than that, oh man, miserable. And like for reference, the other like kind of major surgery I've had was I had eye surgery to have my vision corrected.
That's not too bad.
I know, but that's the thing is I was awake for that, and that was done with blades going into my eyeballs. Like I saw them cutting open my eyes. Yeah. With knives. And that I would rather do that 100 times over than get this done again. That sucked.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm still a little zonked, so just if I sound out of it, that's why.
And also, this is a work in progress. Both the set deck I think is pretty much there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But as far as like lighting,
we're
cameras,
figuring
even
out.
the sound, we ordered some new mics, so we won't be using these for too much
longer.
longer.
The lights and the sound. Yeah, we're waiting for other lights to come in, so we're using a bunch of like just lamps right now.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's gonna be great. This one's gonna be great too. I'm actually really looking forward to this episode because it's gonna be super fucking chill.
Yeah. So before I had my surgery done, which is scheduled last minute, we didn't take the month off because I was having surgery done. It was just because we were moving and I needed to build a new set. My doctor called me halfway through October, was like, hey, do you want this done? So I said, oh, hell yeah. But before that, we were doing pretty good at watching a horror movie every night.
We watched, by my count, 19 horror movies throughout October.
Yeah.
So more than half. We tried every single night to sit down and watch
We would watch one where we either both of us had never seen it, or it had been long enough to where like we couldn't remember it really. Yeah. So but we were doing good until I got my operation done.
Yep, but so what we're just going to do is kind of a lightning round review session of going through, just given, honestly, with 19, just given a couple minutes.
Like, these are not going to be deep dives.
It's just going to be our impressions of them, and honestly, what I can remember of them, because, when you watch a whole bunch of movies in a row, kind of blend together, and now it's been like a month, so some of these I might have issues remembering, but we'll just give you a top-line summary of our thoughts and opinions about each movie.
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Yeah. Should we like kind of keep track of how long we're talking about each movie?
I'll try to keep an eye on the clock.
Okay.
I wish we had a little like fucking
stopwatch. We've been watching the Queen's Gambit and like, we should get the little like chess.
Oh yeah, just like hit
timers,
it. Yeah, just go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Lucy's here. We'll see if she can find a place to jump up. It's difficult now. All right. So the first thing we watched was Antebellum.
All right, Antebellum. it's a bummer because I was really looking forward to this one.
We love Janelle Monáe.
We have been fans of Janelle Monáe since before it was cool to be fans of
Yeah,
Janelle
I've been a
Monáe.
fan of her for a decade.
Yeah,
now.
we
literally.
we saw her. We've been to Coachella once, and
It was 2013.
She was
early
at
2013,
Coachella, but
yeah.
she was on one of the little
Smaller
stages.
yeah,
She was
when
on like one of the
crowd surfed away to
She
end
crowd
her
surfed
set.
crowd surfed right next to us. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get to touch her, but she was like right there.
Yeah, so huge.
We
Janelle
love
Monáe
Janelle
stan. Love her.
Antebellum is
A mess.
it's written by two white guys, right?
I forget.
Or I think it might be one.
I think it's just one.
I think
and
it's
then,
okay, but it's.
a black man was the other co-writer, but
I was worried when I saw that people I like on Twitter whose movie reviews I trust, including several prominent black film reviewers, were like, this is absolute trash. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy. I kind of wish I didn't have that preconception going into it, but honestly, I don't know if I would have felt differently because it's not good.
It's a fucking mess is the problem. The issue is, are these gonna be spoilery?
I think these have to be a little spoilery
Heads
for
up,
them
y'all.
to be,
Sorry.
so it's not just us being like, yeah, it's good for like an hour.
So the first, I don't know, 40 minutes, I think I clocked it, is just...
It's just slavery, torture, porn. It's
yeah,
awful.
which we've seen a ton of time. Like, after Roots, I think you don't need to have 40 minutes of slaves being whipped and mistreated. That's just my opinion.
And I feel so hard when, black people say, I want to see more of myself on screen. And this is like the stuff they continue to get.
Yeah, like
and
I want to see more of myself on screen, but not as a slave.
Yeah, like that's
more.
exhausting. Like we know, there's.
And not to like belittle, like we know.
Yeah,
slavery.
like, we know how, but it's not that. It's more just like.
You're not doing anything
If
new.
you're making media that's purportedly for, an audience, or you want it to be empowering, and so I understand how exhausting it must be to just like, I don't know.
And also, for me, I always like novelty in the things I watch, and this was nothing new for that first 40 minutes. Then there's a twist. And it's almost like what, kind of like The Village-esque.
It's The Village.
When you realize, it's not back then, it's modern times. But then, like, when it shows how she was abducted to be brought to this modern slavery reenactment, we sit with her life.
Friends.
We go to this dinner scene and waste, like, 20 minutes
of time
watching her and
Gabrielle Sidibe, who honestly is I thought was very good in this.
She's funny.
I love Gabrielle Sidibe. I think she is a very underrated comedic actress, and I want her to be in more things always. But like, we're just sitting there with her friends, and I'm checking my watch that I don't wear. And then I'm like, what are we doing?
And then it's in the end, you see that it wasn't even like some remote compound that they were doing this on. It was at like one of those Civil War reenactment things, just like, I don't know, a little bit further down the field. And so it was like not interesting, belabored. The pacing was awful. And then like unbelievable in the end too.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Janelle Monáe did fine.
There were, it's disappointing because there's a few, I could see just little hints throughout this movie of there's elements in this that could be good, you know? Like there's ideas in here where if you maybe don't save this, if you don't make the twist the ending, if you reveal that pretty early on and you make it into like maybe there's something there.
Maybe.
But no, I don't know.
All right, we got to move on.
I say pass on that one.
Oh yeah, pass for sure. Although they did send us a package with the Blu-ray and some other stuff.
We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Keep
much.
sending, please.
We love getting our stuff, our cool free stuff.
Tenebrae,
yes. Okay, so Tenebrae was that's a big blind spot for me. I love
Dario Argento.
Love me some Giallo movies.
This was after Suspiria and Profondo Rosso, right?
This is after both Suspiria and Deep Red.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
So this is, Giallo, John Saxon.
Yes, John Saxon's
out.
in here. R.E.P. John Saxon, just like being the best ever again in this. I forget what his role even is in this.
He's like the agent, the literary agent of the main character.
Just oozing sex appeal.
Doesn't he get killed in public? Is he the one who gets stabbed in public, maybe?
Oh man, I already forget.
Right. How did you feel about this?
I enjoyed it. I love I think I just like giallo movies. Every time I watch one, I'm pretty into it. I
Yeah.
love like Argento's weird, like, is this person dubbed over? I can't tell.
I know.
You got that going on. You've got Daria. Why am I forgetting her?
Oh yeah, his.
She's a recurring Argento actress. She's in Deep Red. I think she was
Nickelodeon
married to
or
him for a
something?
bit. Daria Nickelodeon. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was married to him for a little bit. I
Yeah,
think.
she was fun.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I was into it. It's like it's so cheeseball, and the score, we got a Goblin score.
Score was
which
cool.
I'm always gonna be into. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's probably out of the 3 big Argento movies my least favorite.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's not to
a
say
lot of
it's-
naked chicks getting stabbed.
yeah, I mean, he's, Argento's even said in interviews the thing he loves the most is like, it's just a beautiful woman getting murdered, which is like, all right, dude. But so, lots of black gloves, lots of, people being strangled. It's, giallo. That's what, it's what it says on the tin.
Okay, next one.
Recommend Tenebrae if you haven't seen it.
Recommend if you like giallo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Want
for
some
me, yeah.
prog rock score.
12-hour shift.
12-hour shift. Bria Grant, right?
Yep, Bria
All right.
Grant.
This is
She was in Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 as one of Laurie's friends.
Yeah.
She gets like choke slammed onto a table.
She's done a few other movies. I think May is one of them that I also haven't seen.
No, you're thinking of Angela
Oh,
Bettis.
I'm thinking she was in. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Bria
Angela
Grant did
Bettis,
not
the
do May.
star of 12-Hour Shift, was the star of May and was Carrie 2002 for the people who saw that kill count.
Yes.
Anyone who watched that episode knows that I loved her performance in that, and she's awesome
She's
in this.
fantastic in this. This movie is basically about a nurse who sells organs and stuff and makes some money on the side. And it is like,
It's so
people
fun.
often try to imitate the Coen brothers house style, which is very hard to do. Like, Coen brothers are so specific, and I honestly think this movie is one of the things I've seen come the closest to it because
Absolutely.
it gets what makes a Coen brothers movie feel like a Coen brothers movie. We have like this weird cast of characters. Everyone's just kind of fucking up all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of incompetence. It
Yeah.
all kind of starts, it's a slow boil.
It's a slow burn.
That all comes to a head where it's just like everything is colliding at once.
Lots of little mistakes piling up to like a giant cluster.
And the tone is like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Really fun. Do you remember the name of the other actress?
I don't have like
Yeah, we don't have our stuff up.
I didn't have like I haven't been able to prep for this at all.
Yeah.
This is the first day I've been like.
But Angela Bettis's, what is it? Her cousin?
They're cousins,
like,
kind of.
not
I
even
heard.
blood related, maybe, but she is fucking
She's so funny.
phenomenal.
It is
She's
honestly
so
one of the
funny.
funniest film performances I've seen in a long time. I'm a big fan of her, and I hate that I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I don't have all these.
Apologies.
I'm so sorry for how not prepared I am for this episode.
It's all right.
It's been a week. But yeah, she basically sells organs to Mick Foley also, which is
Mick
exciting.
Foley?
Mick Foley doing like a great job in this.
Way better than I ever
small role.
expected. Fucking dude love to be in a movie.
Yeah.
It's a very small role, and I wanted to see more of it, but it's like a good
yeah.
sized role, and he's like intimidating.
Yeah.
And great.
And also, this is one of those things that I always enjoy. Like, so, as a woman who enjoys movies, and I would like to see more women making movies and women in movies. I do hate the feeling of being, like patronized in terms of like, oh, this movie it's this empowering movie about women and women doing stuff, and it's about women's issues. Like, that's good. Sometimes, like that's fine sometimes, but that's what I want all the time. And honestly, I was very excited to see a woman make a film about a bunch of women who are just like fuck ups and fucking, and it's not about, the movie is intrinsically not about anything. It's not like dealing with women's issues.
No, not
it's
at
just
all.
women being a bunch of fuck ups, and it's very human, and I loved it. I thought it was so good.
It's the women as people.
Also, any movie that does comedic female nudity really well, I always appreciate, because it's very hard to do, because unfortunately women's bodies are, we tend to just immediately sexualize them. So when you get like funny female nudity, and she's the woman who gets naked is an attractive lady.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is immediately so funny and not like done as like a, a kind of cheesecakey cute. It's like, I loved this movie.
And let's not forget David Arquette. in
David
a small
Arquette,
role.
yes,
Fucking-
looking really sexy in this movie.
Chelsea was way into him.
Yeah, this is like the best he's ever looked to me. Aging like a fine wine, David Arquette.
Okay.
Big recommend. This
big
might be my
recommend.
favorite, by the way, 12 Hour Shift.
I think it's probably my
12
favorite
Hour
movie
Shift
that
is
we
like,
watched.
if you're going to watch any from tonight, that one. I love.
I would say do that one, dude. Definitely. Bria Grant. Cannot wait to see more of your work. I think we're mutuals on Twitter, and I shouted at you.
Bria Grant, notice us.
I shouted at you, not in a creepy way, in the parking structure at Monster Palooza, because I was going to my car and I saw her going to her car, and I forget what shirt she was. It might have been Suspiria. I was like,
gosh.
Cool Suspiria shirt, and she's like, thank you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Bria Grant.
We love you, Bria.
I want to be in a movie that you made.
Next up is Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Tigers Are Not Afraid. I've been really behind the ball on this. Like I just missed this one when it came out. I've been meaning to watch it.
It's a Mexican movie?
Yes, I think they filmed in Mexico City. It's Issa Lopez. And it's
Spanish language,
this is a really, I really liked this movie. It's a very Guillermo del Toro-esque kind
Very
of really
much.
dark fantasy world. Like, it definitely reminded me of how his movies, like something like Pan's Labyrinth, where it's very fantastical, but also it's so fucking gruesome and
it's bleak.
The violence in
bleak.
that. It's not afraid. This movie, I guess a heads up, is not afraid to enact violence against its children characters.
Yeah, it's all children cast, and they all do such a good job.
They do such a good job. None of the kids are safe in this, and it's difficult. It doesn't feel exploitive in any way.
No.
It's all done it's very beautiful, and it's a really, I enjoyed this movie.
Not really that much of a horror movie, but
it's
like, it buds up with the genre.
There's
a
some
bit.
the ghosts and stuff in this.
I mean, I think it's on Shudder, didn't we?
It
watch
is,
it on
it's on
Shudder?
Shudder.
So yeah, there's some elements, but don't expect like a horror movie.
No. The little tiger stuffed animal in this killed me. There's this little
so
tiger.
cute.
Yeah, I don't
really
know.
well done effects on it.
Yeah,
too,
the little tiger that walks. Oh, it's so cute.
But yeah, some of those kids are real cute. None of them are like annoying or precocious.
No, you really feel like
Man,
they do such a good job of like. I totally bought that these were like kids that just were. It felt very Lost Boys. It felt like it reminded me of like a fucked up Peter Pan.
Oh, okay. That
like
Lost
the
Boys.
leader, the kid leader, reminded me of like a Peter Pan. He's very stubborn, and he is kind of a dick to the girl who joins them, who almost felt like a Wendy. She came there to be like their mother.
Yeah.
And the Lost Boys are all they're Lost Boys, and this felt like a real world version of that. And I wonder if that was intentional, that kind of Peter Pan vibe.
It feels dangerous. It's sweet in moments. It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's a solid. If you like Guillermo del Toro, like if you like Pan's Labyrinth, I would recommend this one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So recommend.
Next one was #Alive, which I covered on a kill count, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I liked this movie a lot. I'm a big fan of. I love survival movies in general, or survival books where it's all like one location. How do I survive with the things around me? I love that shit. It's very, problem solving. Like The Martian. I loved The Martian.
Oh, God, I fucking
because I just like the
Martian.
problem solving. And
Exactly.
Apollo 13 is, that's like, okay. I mean, that was fucking real, but just how do I survive?
Gravity.
I love stuff like that. This is very much in that vein. I liked it. I mean, it's zombies, which I'm like, whatever, it's zombies, but.
Yeah, for me, especially because I watched it a couple of times since I covered it. The first half feels a little bit, I don't know, cliche or a little bit cheesy. It's kind of a cheesy movie. Not cheesy. Corny. It's melodramatic.
Yeah.
It's a very. Very trying to tug at your heartstrings a lot of the times. The main guy's like a gamer, and that doesn't really have to do with anything. I feel like it was a marketing thing, but like in the very first scene, he like hops on, he's like, let's go loot some rare drops. I'm like, okay, this is but they drop that shit pretty fast. They use the drone, which is really fun.
Yeah.
I wish there was maybe more reliance on technology, but then when they introduce, I forget her name, but the
girl who lives across from him. Yeah.
That I really, that's when the movie
I
really
liked
kicks
their
it up for me.
relationship and like the ways they figured out how to communicate with each other. And there were several moments that I thought were genuinely really funny. Like the humor in this one is really fun and communicate. I always love when, something that is funny does just feel so universal. He finds the Nutella and like, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you were excited when I bought that Nutella for the set deck.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. After that, the Black Coat's Daughter.
Oh my God, yeah,
What an
Black Coat's
interesting
Daughter.
one.
One that I get lots of emails about. that people want me to review on the podcast. So, I mean, again, also I want to say like none of these movies, just because we review them now, it doesn't mean we won't necessarily revisit them but yeah, Black Coat's Daughter, Osgood Perkins, right?
Is that the director?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Anthony Perkins' son. Right?
Yeah. So it's Emma Roberts and Kiernan Shipka and Lucy Boynton, right? Because she was in Apostle also.
Yes.
I liked this one. I think maybe something just like what it didn't quite hit the spot for me.
It's a very slow, and not even necessarily in a bad way. It's kind of a movie that you just kind of like sit and let wash over you a little bit. But the final twist, I guess, if you could call it that, feels very anticlimactic.
I think maybe, I enjoyed, like, it's weird. Like, I enjoyed watching the film itself and just kind of, like you said, having it kind of just wash over me.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I just didn't feel super satisfied by it. Maybe just because I didn't quite get what happened in the end.
Because it's these two parallel stories, one with Kiernan and Lucy, and the other one with Emma Roberts on her own. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, spoiler alert, you end up realizing that Emma Roberts is a grown-up Kiernan Shipka. And I figured it out before it was revealed. And then I just feel like that wasn't, I don't know why they did that.
I don't know. I think maybe, I didn't quite, I don't know. I didn't hate it. Like I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I wasn't mad that I watched it, but I wouldn't be eager to watch it again, I guess. It's just is it an orphan? No, it's like a boarding school.
Yeah, it's a Catholic school, I think.
Yeah, so they're at a boarding school and Kiernan like learning about the devil kind of.
Yeah. Becoming
like a devil girl.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I don't know. If you like possession horror.
Or like witchcraft kind of cult.
And like
Satan
good,
stuff.
Really good Kiernan Shipka.
We
love Kiernan Shipka.
Yeah.
I don't really care for Emma Roberts, so.
Up. She's all right.
Yeah.
She's fine. She did fine there. Okay. So,
take it or leave it, I guess.
Yeah. If a slow meditative movie about Satan cult worshipping
with like a female cast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I forget about the kills, if they were like cool or not. There's a lot of blood.
There's a lot of
when it gets violent, so I don't know.
I can't remember how actually gory that one got.
Okay, this one, it's another one I covered. We watched because I had to cover it, but I really want to hear your thoughts on it. Idle Hands.
Oh Jesus, Idle Hands.
Because you did not watch this movie growing up like I did.
No, I did not. And Idle Hands, it's funny. The first time we watched this together,
we
shut it. We turned it off like halfway through because we watched it it was the same week that Me Too was a thing. This was like,
was it?
Yes, I remember. This is #Me Too was that week, and I think that's why I was so just.
You were not having it, dude.
Yeah, it literally was like just like lightly tap me and I'm falling over, just like sensitive. And the Jessica Alba stuff in this, just the way that this character is like, what is she even? She's like, I'm so glad you just went.
It's just, he comes over bloody and nasty, and she invites him into her room, and he grabs her ass. She's like, good, thank you.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, wow, you're
thank
really.
You, sir. May I have another?
Thank you for taking the initiative to just. I think in that moment,
some of the comments on the kill count were, some women are horny and like to be treated that way. And it's like, okay.
But the thing is,
which is, I guess,
true. Fair. Yeah, women are horny also, I agree. But also, if you want to have that work, you establish the fact that character is like ready to get dicked down, or else it makes no sense. I don't know.
And also give her something else to do.
Give her something else.
You know?
Yeah. So I think the first I was just I was like, I can't.
So acknowledging that.
Yeah. So watching it again, my solution to this is have them be friends already.
Well, I think have them be dating already.
Or have them be dating. Or
and she's upset that he's like such a slacker.
Yeah. Or that he is very timid
Yeah,
sexually
exactly.
or like nervous, and she wants to fuck and maybe they haven't yet.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
He's the one who's nervous, and then
his hand is possessing. He's grabbing her. She's like, "Thank you. That's what I wanted."
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense when they're like strangers,
that.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
I'd be fine if, like the friend where she's like, God, I've been so into you this whole time. We've been friends.
Yeah, but they established that they've never talked.
They never, So it just, I don't know. So that was, but
so Jessica Alba aside, because that is also my problem with the movie. But
besides that, it's like it's a whatever movie. It's such a time capsule. I love Seth Green. I love anything he is in, and I just
got a kick out of his face when he grabs.
Oh my god, when
iron.
he grabs that iron and runs back in, he just looks so proud of himself.
He does. I pointed out.
And also where he finds that piece of Devon Sawa's t-shirt and goes, "A clue." It just killed me. His line delivery is so fucking funny.
He's so good.
And also I don't know if you talked about this in your kill count, but like the movie's production design is low-key really good.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that.
Their house.
Rodman Flender, the
there's
director.
just the use of color in the. I was like, why is the use of color?
He cited
in
Giallo
Idol
films as an
Yes, I was like,
inspiration.
why is this like amazingly designed? Fucking idle hands.
Yeah.
Like, who put in so much love to making this movie's color
It would
theory
fit in,
amazing?
like your set would fit in there.
Yeah,
you know?
the color scheme's very similar. I like the reds and greens a lot, but yeah, I don't know.
Offspring, live
The
Offspring.
soundtrack,
Yeah,
very
soundtrack.
good. Yeah, the time travel back to the 2000s, I enjoyed a lot. I don't know. It's idle. I love Devon Sawa too. Devon Sawa is so good in this. His physical acting is insane, and he's just like a cutie. I love Devon Sawa. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What else? Next is Crimson Peak.
Crimson Peak. Neither of us had ever seen Crimson Peak.
Yeah, that was
Lots of
surprising that we had
people
not seen that.
recommend it. I always wanted to watch it because I love, I'm very lenient. If a movie has beautiful costumes and beautiful sets, I'm a lot more forgiving in terms of what, things like plot and what's actually happening.
I think the issue with this movie for me is its length and pacing.
It's very long.
It's very long and a little slow, but you're right. It's
such
beautiful to look at.
Gowns.
The acting is great, and then in classic Guillermo del Toro style, when you get to the violent parts, it is
so
fucking
violent.
violent.
Yeah.
Spoiler:
that guy getting his head smashed in that sink.
Yeah, the sink.
That
sink.
really was
Holy
fucked
shit.
up. But yeah, I liked Crimson Peak. It was just it felt very comfort movie to me. Stuff that just look, lush costume dramas are instantly comforting for me. So I was having a great time.
And I like that it's it is what it says it is throughout the movie, that it's not so much a ghost story as it is a story with
There's
ghosts.
ghosts in it. Yeah, that's true. It is what it says it is.
And you get the classic again, spoiler alert, the incest twist. Which because it's Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
Who
he
as
didn't even
much as
realize it was her.
I did not. Halfway through the movie, I was like, "Who is that?" And you're like, "Jessica Chastain, hun."
Yeah.
And even after you said that, my brain couldn't reconcile that
She doesn't
fact.
have red hair in that
That was
movie,
throwing me off, her lack of red hair. And then who's the guy?
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes, Tom Hiddleston. And so those two, yeah.
Yeah. And fucking the other dude, Charlie Hunnam, right? He's Sons of Anarchy. Charlie Hunnam, yeah. So it's fun. I loved it. Love just the costumes. I just want to make all of I forget the main character's name, but I just want to make all of her gowns.
Was it Anna?
No, Mia
Wasikowska.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
just
Polish
these
last name.
beautiful velvet gowns that she's just lounging around reading books in. Ooh, love it. Hey, I want to talk about our sponsor this week, HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
We got some HelloFresh this month, which has been really helpful because James had to basically feed me while I was recovering from my surgery.
Like a little baby.
Yeah, and it's nice because I feel like, you're recovering. You should probably be eating something healthy. and James also has been really busy. You had zero time to do anything.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily we had HelloFresh come in, which was just really good timing.
Quick meals.
Yeah, you didn't have to, pull your hair out worrying about what you should make me. We just had the stuff come in the mail. It was all pre-measured, and it was stuff I was gonna like.
Yeah, those flautas were so good, dude. Oh man,
I forgot that was even Like I thought you just made those.
No, I wish.
Those were really good. Yeah,
I
we had
wish I was that
flautas. I'm trying to remember
talented.
what else we had. There was something that was like a butternut squash, and it was really good.
Yeah,
That's the other thing is I
it
feel
was
like
like a pasta thing.
yeah, I think they're really good at the stuff we got this month felt very seasonally appropriate.
Yeah.
Which was nice because, fall rolls around and I just want to eat squash and
Orange food.
yeah, just orange colored food and mushrooms I feel like are very fall, flavors. So it was really nice. It was good to have some like real food while I was recovering.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, everything is pre-measured also, which is great. You don't feel like you're wasting food.
Recyclable containers.
Yes,
all those in the
yeah.
recycling bins.
They're
so.
they're really good about keeping their packaging not so it's not just a ton of garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have an app too, so it's easy if you want to like change your delivery days and stuff.
Or pick different meals.
Yeah. It's if you're like, oh man, we're gonna have this box of perishables delivered and we're not gonna be home for like a couple of days, you can change what.
Yeah, skip it, pause
Yeah, you
it.
can skip it. Yeah, so they're really flexible in terms of their delivery too. So if you want to try HelloFresh, you can go to hellofresh.com/deadmeat90 and use code deadmeat90 to get $90 off your order, including free shipping. And again, that's hellofresh.com/deadmeat90. Use code deadmeat90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. HelloFresh.
Hello, Fresh.
Our other sponsor this week is Shudder.
Yeah.
Shudder. Shudder is our friend.
Shudder we used for a lot of these movies.
Yeah, like Scare Me is a Shudder original. So that's there. Tiger's Not Afraid is on Shudder.
Yeah, it was always nice that's a lot of what we did was let's sit down and just scroll through Shudder.
Yeah, this whole episode accidentally became kind of like a Shudder
It's
ad.
perfect,
But it's
yeah.
because they have so much stuff that it was easy to just, open up Shudder and pick something.
Scroll through and it's like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch this.
I saw some of you too. I retweeted they had their hotline going on Halloween. So people could get horror movie recommendations from their curator, Sam Wyman. And I saw some people called and got movie recommendations,
That's so
which is
cool.
really neat. I love that. That feels so old school and comfortable to me.
What's great
Love
about
it.
Shudder is that proves, and they have a series with Joe Bob. They're legit.
They're
not just a streaming service that was like, oh, there's some money in horror movies. We'll tap into that and throw some Freddy Kruegers up on the streamings and some Final Destinations, and we'll make a lot.
Yeah.
No, man, they get deep into the niche stuff and the real deep cuts, and they have just a respect and reverence for the genre, which of course we gotta love.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so it's truly run by horror fans, which you can tell. You can tell too. I saw some people I follow online who I know they're horror fans, but that's not their primary realm of stuff that they're interested in or care about. But I saw, because it's October, people are looking for horror movies, and I saw a few people who don't tweet much about horror otherwise, but were like, hey, if you're a horror fan, you should get Shudder because they have some good stuff. So that was the cool thing to see. I'm glad that they're.
You cannot go wrong.
Yes.
If you don't have Shudder yet, what are you doing? Get it.
Well, if you do want to try Shudder, if you're not convinced, you want to try it free for 30 days. You can go to shudder.com. That's SHUDDER.com and use the promo code DEADMEAT30. That's DEADMEAT30. To try Shudder free for 30 days.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't have to keep using it.
But you will like it.
But you'll like it. But if you want to try it for free, shudder.com, promo code DEADMEAT30, DEADMEAT30, to try Shudder free for 30 days.
Get it. Ooh. That was me
Ooh.
shuddering. Okay, we are still here.
Oh, that's okay. We are still here. That the ghost movie.
Another ghost movie with Barbara Crampton and some of the gang from like her peripheral to Your Next. The friend character in this, who is Lisa Marie's husband, is that guy in the beginning of Your Next, the neighbor who gets killed, like in the cold open. Who is very funny in this.
Yes, he's very, very good.
He's great. Who is also a director in his own right.
I liked this one.
Yeah.
This one also gruesome, really violent.
Really, this one is a slow burn. And
It is a slow
honestly,
burn.
the first half, I wasn't sure what I thought about
Yes,
it.
if you check this one out, give it a bit to warm up, and then it really kind
stick
of
with it.
pops off after a little bit.
It does reach a point where it's just fucking buck wild.
I'm trying to remember what the really gruesome kill was in this. That like
it's a whole house full of people, because remember, like a mob comes to the house.
That's right. The end of this is just...
And then the spirits or whatever just start fucking tearing them apart and shit.
Yeah,
It's
that might be
great.
why not one specific thing sticks out to me, because so much.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies where it's like the insidious townspeople are conspiring against these newcomers to a house, and they know something that you don't, and so like the more that builds up, the more interesting it gets, because at first it's just Barbara Crampton and her husband, and their son just recently passed, and so they moved to a new house and are trying to get over it, but like, yeah, it turns out that house has a history and the town has a history, and the end is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, the end is nuts. It really... It's like, okay, that's, lots of gore, lots of makeup. Also, this movie somehow makes Barbara Crampton look like frumpy, and it's fucked up.
Which is like,
that's hard to do.
To the movie,
that's really hard to do
that, because
she's a hottie.
Yes, to this very day,
she's like intimidatingly hot. James and I, whenever we talk to her in person afterwards, we're like, oh my god,
because we got to actually hang out with her for a bit.
Yeah,
her and Felissa at the ScareCon in Rochester, New York, and it was like we had the convention, and then we were at like the after party hanging out, and it was just like the four of us talking for a while, and the whole time I'm just sitting there like, I'm talking to Barbara Crampton.
I felt like I was talking to the popular girl at school. I'm like, oh
I know,
gosh,
not in like how
not a bad.
Very
she's
sweet.
very nice, but I'm
so
like, oh
nice,
my
and
god,
we love you, Barbara. But it was just like, it's intimidating. It's Barbara Crampton. And, we'll tweet at each other, and I love her, and she likes us, but, I mean, it's still Barbara Crampton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would recommend that.
I recommend it. Yeah, good ghost.
Especially if you like gore.
Yeah, that's a gory one if you want something fucked up.
Hubie Halloween.
Halloween is upon us. Love Hubie
Halloween Day. Hubie Halloween Day.
Love Hubie Halloween. Love Adam Sandler. I fucking loved Hubie Halloween. I needed it. I
think the world needed.
I think
Hubie
the world,
Halloween.
yeah, for real. Because just like October, we're coming up on this fucking election. Everyone's stressed about
COVID's
COVID.
Crazy again.
We can't even have Halloween.
Yep.
Just so many things, and it was something about watching this alternate world where it's just this Adam Sandler movie suburb where Halloween is every year, and everyone goes all out for it because it's set in Salem, and just like it's populated with all these like Adam Sandler townies.
And callbacks. O'Doyle's are
they got
around.
the O'Doyles, lots of callbacks to other Adam Sandler. It was like this peak, like this little 2-hour like vacation to a nice Halloween suburb, and I appreciated it. Yeah, you feel it's a little too long.
It's a little too long. And is it stupid? Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely
fucking
stupid.
Stupid as hell.
But I love extremely stupid.
And not every joke lands, and some jokes happen, and I was like, okay, but enough land where I was laughing pretty consistently. Tim Meadows is always my favorite.
Oh yeah,
he's so funny.
Just like stuff getting thrown at Adam Sandler this whole movie.
That was a good runner. It built up in a good way, because like it happens right off the bat, and it happens right off the bat when they hit you hard with this shit, because he like chugs raw, he catches the eggs in his fucking thermos, shakes them up, drinks them, says something like Stallone style, and then spray vomits out the side of his mouth. And that's not even the type of movie it is. It's not even like a gross. It's more like a family humor type thing.
And also June Squibb. God bless June Squibb.
So good.
She was put on this earth to play Adam Sandler's grandma.
Isn't she 90?
She's 91, I think.
Yeah. This 90-year-old woman fucking killing it with the humor. She's so funny.
Fucking funny.
And then Steve Buscemi, just continuing to prove that he's down for whatever, and is such a, like, bless him for it.
Well, we also watched, and then we won't review it because it's not a horror movie, we watched Death of Stalin, which is like total like 180, like prestige comedy that also starring Steve Buscemi.
And he was
like, God
just
bless
as
him.
funny. Oh, I love him.
I
He's
love
the
that
best.
man so much.
Julie Bowen's character's a little weird. That she's like
she's funny though.
But she's
her
she's
manic
good.
energy is good. I loved Hubie Halloween. Big recommend from me. If if you like Adam Sandler,
if you can tolerate Adam Sandler, and if you don't mind, it's like a sweet, almost kids movie. Honestly,
yeah,
you could watch it with your kids and it'd be fine.
Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I watched it being like, okay, everyone's fucking talking about Hubie.
Can we watch
if there were
it with
like
kids? Yeah.
kills, I'll maybe do a kill count. It's not that kind of movie.
No.
Not at all.
Actually the end message is very sweet.
It's an anti-bullying message.
It is, yeah.
It's nice. It's a nice, sweet movie.
Yeah.
After that was Creepshow 2.
Oh boy, Creepshow 2. Did not love Creepshow 2.
Didn't love it.
There was nothing in it that really stood out to me as
I'm trying. Let's see if we can even remember the show.
Okay.
Because we've watched Creepshow a couple
few
times.
Yeah,
and like
Creepshow
Creepshow's
2
great.
is the cigar store Indian statue.
Okay.
Starring Holt from
Holden
Mindhunter.
Yeah, what's his name? I forget. But he's also like a guy in Alien 3. He's like one of the guys who tries to rape Sigourney Weaver. And here he's playing. I think
he's in brown face.
He's bronzed up. He's bronzed up to play a native.
Yeah.
And I think the other actors who are playing natives are natives.
But
he's like the main one, so he's a white guy in brown face.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
I hate that I'm having such a hard time remembering people's names right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Holt McCallany.
Yeah, okay.
Is playing I mean, he's hot in this, but it's like it's a weird. This whole movie is weird. Even the framing device, the animation in this movie is particularly cursed looking.
Oh yeah, because instead of the Tom Atkins and his son framing device, Stephen King's son with the comic book in the first one, it's strictly animated with a kid running around on a bike and some bullies.
And he gets these like seeds from the Creepshow catalog, I think, and he plants a big mutant plant at the end. And I don't know.
The creep guy himself, played by Tom Savini in makeup, the garbage truck guy.
Yeah, that guy's cool. And then
he looks scary as hell, and then someone else is doing his voice. But yeah, it sucked that he wasn't. He turns into animation. Right away.
Which it's the cigar store Indian statue, and then there's the raft based on the Stephen King short story. Which short story I was terrified by. I read it recently-ish, and the adaptation is not as scary as a short
That seems like a hard one to adapt.
It's a very hard one.
Swimming out to a raft, and then there's like it looks like the fucking trash island.
Yeah, it's
floating around, and they
like an oil slick that eats people on this raft,
and they don't know how to get back to this. So like,
I don't think any of them live. And it's hard to. That's a really hard one to adapt. So I just. This one, the blob in this one looks like just a trash bag that's kind of floating around. I mean, the kills in this one are kind of cool. One of them is from the short story where the guy literally gets pulled down through the cracks of the raft and his bones are all snapping so he can get pulled through, and it's disgusting. And then the other one is that woman who hits a hitchhiker.
Yeah. Because the hitchhiker is played.
That one's a lot.
Yeah, the hitchhiker is played by the guy in Tales from the Hood.
Yes.
The city council member who gets killed.
Yeah.
In that short, and that one, it's just this hitchhiker. She hits and runs, and then he comes back as a zombie, and she hits and runs again. And he just
white
keeps
lady,
coming
and
back.
it's like it's very like the undertones, like the subtext is pretty racial, I think.
And she was having an affair, right?
Yeah.
She was like on her way home from having an affair.
There's a lot going on. The
girl,
imagery is like, it's uncomfortable.
Was there another one?
I think it's just the 3.
Really?
I think.
And if not, then that shows how memorable it was. But yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know.
Pretty forgettable. I think there's like a third movie that they didn't do. Because who did Creepshow 2? Was it Romero again or no?
No. It was
someone notable.
Maybe it was Romero again. Creepshow 2. Creepshow 2 is Michael Gornick. That's what I thought. That it wasn't Romero again. Yeah. Nah.
Okay. Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body, none of us had seen it, which feels...
No, I'd seen it in college.
Oh, you'd seen it?
And I didn't like it in college. I remember seeing it, very much disliking it, and then for whatever reason in my mind linked with it is Teeth. I must have watched it like that same weekend, and I fucking loved Teeth. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
Teeth's a good one. Teeth I saw when it came out. I loved it.
Yeah. So Jennifer's Body, 2009, time capsule of 2009. Yeah.
It is amazing because I feel like recently we've been watching a lot of movies from the 2000s. Like we just rewatched the first Borat, and I'm trying to think of what else we watched where it was from the 2000s. Like it's crazy to realize across the board how much humor has changed and how much just acceptable language has changed. Because this one just feels very 2000s, like we're using words in that where we're like, oh fuck, we would never script.
Was it like gay slurs, right?
Yeah, and like
Probably
retard and just stuff like that where it's like it really felt time capsule.
Yeah, this was written by Diablo Cody, her follow-up to Juno, which was fucking, if you weren't around in 2007, let me tell you.
Mania.
Yeah, Juno.
And then also Juno back, everyone just like
yeah, I'd love to rewatch it and see if it's any good. Because like her dialogue is very. Her
dialogue's
stylized.
a lot. In general I don't love stylized dialogue. I'm also not a fan of Joss Whedon, so it's not my thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I liked this. I didn't love it.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate why it is seen as being underrated. I think now I don't know if you can call it underrated because I feel like many times had the discussion.
Now.
I think it's just rated. We're all aware that like it got kind of a bad rap when it came out.
But it does, it seems relevant in that it has to do with like Jennifer is basically metaphorically raped by these guys, and then but it kind of sucks because like the revenge on those guys doesn't happen until like the post-credit scene.
Yeah. I wanted to see those guys really.
Mm-hmm. Which is who plays the lead guy, Adam Brody?
Yeah.
Who is fantastic, as always. Also, my issue with it is you don't really have that good of a sense of Jennifer herself as a person before the transformation, because after it happens, she comes to school and Needy, her best friend, played by Amanda Seyfried, is like, oh, why are you acting this way? And to me, she just seems like she's acting the same kind of like mean girlish way.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of their friendship before. So I couldn't quite get...
It's hard to peg their friendship. I get that they like grew up together and not... But this movie is also trying to tell us that Amanda Seyfried is like dorky and like ugly.
Yeah, this movie is trying to convince me that Amanda Seyfried is supposed to be unattractive. I'm like, come on.
And then a little bit of sapphic tones in there, which is kind of
so I liked it. I think maybe it hit some doldrums, like script doldrums toward the end, like third act. I'm just kind of like I don't know.
Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Well, it's not werewolf movie, which you don't see a lot of.
I haven't covered a single werewolf movie on the Kill Count. Yeah, people call me out on it. I'm sorry. One day.
You haven't done American Werewolf?
I have not.
Huh. Okay.
What's your favorite scary movie for
this is one I liked it, but I think maybe it ultimately didn't quite come together for me.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
It had some funny parts. It's meant to be funny.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be. This is another one where I think it's inspired by Coen Brothers. It's trying to hit that. And I don't think it does it as well as...
No, I think it's a little too over the top. And it's the writer, director, and star of it, too. And I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry. That's how this episode is. I think he's a little too much in his acting. He's a little over the top.
For a whole movie,
For the
maybe.
whole movie, yeah. Because I'm not saying that it never works. Sometimes it is
hilarious.
Yeah.
He's very talented, and I think... Like, he's a really good actor.
I agree another director reeling him back some scenes, because some scenes he's too yelly and shouty.
And that's hard to direct yourself, so.
It's very difficult.
I agree also. And I also wonder if that character, I wonder if he's not the right person to play that character. That character reads, like, he feels a little too clean cut for that guy.
A little bit, yeah, because the character's kind of supposed to be... Because is he a sheriff or like going to be a sheriff?
Yeah, his Robert Forster.
Last role.
Before
his passing. Wonderful
Robert Forster
man.
playing The dad
and sheriff, There's some dad themes in here, which I always like. Yeah, because he's got a daughter that he's kind of estranged from.
Yeah.
Ricky Lindholm's in this, and she's great. She's like another cop, another like deputy. It's like a mystery movie that I don't think does well with the mystery.
The mystery, I think the fact that I had to go on Reddit and someone pointed out why the mystery, it makes sense, and they had to point out like the pieces that made it, and it's like I should be able to, and the fact that a lot of people were confused as to what the reveal at the end meant and how he figured it out.
Yeah.
Which that's unsatisfying for a mystery movie.
I don't want to have to look up why.
Yeah.
And the guy who it's revealed to be the werewolf is someone who like I didn't recognize. He was in some earlier scenes and I'm like, okay.
I don't think this was by any means a bad movie. It's just I think it just didn't quite come together.
I think it was a little too much on one person's plate.
Yeah.
But like the next thing he does, I'll check out for sure.
Oh yeah, I think yeah.
Like this is an indie movie, and it's cool that they got a movie made, and it's a better movie than I've ever made. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it's for sure. And also the werewolf in this really cool look and design, the big werewolf running around. I just like getting to see it. He's just running around.
Yeah. Next is The Love Witch.
Yeah. I hated this movie.
I fucking hated this movie.
I think this is gonna be the one this is our least favorite.
Yeah.
All month.
Yeah.
Have been meaning to watch this.
Highly recommended.
Highly regarded. Critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
The Love Witch. People telling me I would love it, that it's like, it feels like it should be my vibe, my brand.
It looks fantastic.
It's visually stunning.
It is incredible in the way that it accurately recreates the feeling of a 70s horror movie.
Yeah.
The colors and the cinematography and kind of the film and the costuming and styling.
The choice, like fabric, just everything.
It could have been from the 70s.
It really,
that is an accomplishment.
It hit that like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls era look and feel just perfect, and I love that era. I love exploitation shit like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, so like this theoretically should have been something I really liked. I fucking hated this movie. I'm so sorry.
It's so long.
It's
so slow.
Was so bored.
Yeah.
I found the main character annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't like watching her do stuff.
She's not interesting because like the Love Witch, she's like studying witchcraft in order to have power over men through sexuality.
Yeah, and she wants she wants a man, but she keeps like killing them with magic.
Yeah.
But I thought the movie was going to be her purposely like, I'm just going to go murder a bunch of dudes because I'm a love witch. But this was like, it almost felt like on accident. Or just, I don't know. I didn't quite get what it was trying to do. And there was a lot of just weird, like, the movie felt a little too into the idea of like the inherent feminine, just like the like power of women, like we're like another species. We're so magical and sexual. It's just, I don't know. There's something I don't love about that.
I don't know, man. I mean, my biggest issue with it was that I was fucking bored.
It was really boring. This movie was boring.
Struggled to finish it.
The acting in it, I get that it's mimicking that style, but when it's that thing where I'm like, I feel this movie very making the effort to mimic this type of kind of stilted delivery from these old exploitation movies. And because I know it's trying to be that, I'm so bored.
Even if they did that stilted line delivery, and I don't know, there's ways to make it more entertaining.
This is just such a nap.
Yeah.
Like there's a part where they get to like this Ren fair.
Oh,
I
my
was
God.
just like, I wanted to ask if we could turn it off.
I could feel it.
But the thing is, like, the little weird Ren Fair part, that like mid-century Ren Fair style, where like the Kennedy's favorite musical is Camelot, so like that's where we get Ren Fairs from and shit. Is like people became obsessed with medieval times.
Oh, okay.
I love that's like a lot of stuff on Etsy I bought for our house is like from the '60s, like medieval shit. again, theoretically, that should be a scene I'm very excited about. But it's so
goes on
bored. I'm just
forever.
listening to this dude just singing and
Yeah.
man, no.
Fuck this movie.
No, Love Witch.
You should know that it is well regarded.
Yeah, we're in the minority
maybe you'll
here,
love it.
so
but
whatever.
if you're a person who doesn't like I don't know, art house movies, or you get bored by slow movies, avoid this.
Yeah.
You will not have a good time.
I have a high tolerance for slow bullshit. I love slow movies.
Yeah.
I think out of all the people I know, I have like one of the highest like tolerances for like slow moving bullshit art house movies. And this was like, I couldn't do it.
What's the dress designer movie?
Phantom Thread? Phantom Thread is a fucking thrill ride compared to this. Phantom Thread owns.
Phantom Thread is great. It's a long, slow movie.
But it's so fun. Also, yeah, I don't want to go on a tangent, but like Phantom Thread, also one of the funniest movies of ours. It is like funny. Top tier comedy.
Speaking of comedy, Scare Me
by Josh Rubin.
Starring Josh Rubin and 3 other people, and that's all you see in the movie.
This movie, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised by this one.
It is a very unique movie. I did a Patreon review of this, so I don't want to...
just redo your Patreon review.
But I will say, it's an extremely unique movie where 2 people tell each other stories, and normally that would be the framing device for an anthology of short films like Creepshow.
Right.
Cut to these stories they're telling. No, this is just them telling each other stories.
And that sounds like it might be exhausting.
And it might be. I think this works...
It does it so well.
I think it works really well as people who are... within the film industry and are exposed to writers, because there's a lot of like writer I don't know, mini relationships here, because they're both writers, one's successful, one's not, and that tension is really good. And then improv, because it turns into an improv thing, especially when Chris Redd from SNL shows up as the pizza delivery guy and is hilarious. But I'm very curious about how a person not as in this kind of industry or culture would think of it.
Well, I was reading a thread. I forget if Josh Rubin was tweeting about this or if it was someone who helped film, but they were talking about how in order to keep this movie visually interesting and to make it feel like almost more of an anthology where, we're in this cabin the entire time, they very purposely choreographed this movie and utilize certain spaces in that room to make it feel like the location was changing so that you're not visually bored.
It's also the style and how it is shot changes. It changes.
It is so cool how even though it's one room and we are acting out stories as opposed to anything really actually happening, they use the space and camera and to keep it really interesting.
Sound effects used very well.
That alone is impressive. And on top of it, it's very funny. And it gets ultimately get scary, which is
great. Yeah.
So, yes, recommend.
And the difference between them as writers, he's telling his story and struggling every few sentences and is using very basic vocabulary and kind of trite ideas. But it's still funny. And then she tells her story and all the little details that she peppers in as a creative writer about the brand of cigarettes that the grandpa smoked, the dog-eared book on his you can tell that that's the difference in their writing skills, and it's so great. And it really feeds into the tension between them, which again gets downright scary at the end. So
there's good payoff in this movie.
It's not for everyone. I've seen a lot of people not like it online, but if you're into comedy, I'd give this a shot. And
you liked old College Humor shit, because Josh Rubin's a College Humor.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Okay. He's another one, with the Wolf one. There are just a few moments where it's is this guy overacting a bit too much? Is he going too far? But I think in this movie, it works better just because of the style of it.
It's a thing where it plays again like an improv scene in so many, so it's this is not unfamiliar territory.
And what's really funny is when he'll be doing an over the top thing, but then he'll burp and just be like, oh, sorry, and then continue, and it's it's very funny.
Yeah.
So I would recommend it.
Yes. Yeah,
just know that it is a unique movie. I've never seen a movie just two people talking to each other for that long.
Also a good one if you have friends you want to watch maybe something scary with, and this is not going to ruin anyone's life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Then we watched Hot Rod, which isn't a horror movie.
That's not a horror movie, but
it's
it
one of the
owns.
funniest fucking movies.
Dude, Hot Rod's the best. Like, yeah, that's another one where it's like time travel. We're gonna go to the 2000s.
Yeah.
And
Fuck yeah, Hot Rod.
Hot Rod owns Ian McShane. I think about that character just randomly all the time, and I was very excited to revisit that movie. Just Ian McShane as this uncle that like just or not the stepdad that like wants to kick your ass all the time, and he gets sick, and Andy Samberg wants to help him get money for his surgery so that he can be better, and then kick his stepdad's ass.
It's
like
the best inciting incident and like plot line for a stupid comedy I've ever heard of. Raise money to cure my stepdad so I can kick his ass.
It's so funny.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
So funny. We can't talk about
I know.
Hot Rod.
I just want to talk about Hot Rod now, but it's not a horror movie.
Next, Borderline Addams Family, 1991.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Addams Family. I know Addams Family is beloved. I mean, we were Gomez and Morticia for the Crypt TV Halloween live stream.
This movie kind of sucks.
This first Addams Family, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I haven't seen Addams Family Values since I was a kid.
We meant to watch Values too because that's
the one
regarded.
that I think that people like more.
Yeah.
So I think unless if we hate that one, I think that's the one people are gonna come for us.
Yeah.
For but the first Addams Family movie is not good.
Yeah, rewatch it.
It's
and
really
you'll see
boring.
It's not good. The plot of it is this fucking stupid business shit. It's just that generic, like, holdover from the 80s because it's early 90s.
Yeah.
Just like trying to do evil business with evil businessmen.
Just vague business.
It's very vague.
Evil business.
And we learned that it was being rewritten throughout the film.
While they shot it, you can tell.
Fucking tell.
You can tell this was a cobbled together script.
The plot is a mess.
It's not good.
Acting is great. I'm glad that the cast got the chance to do another movie.
Well, I think they all knew the first movie was a disaster while they were making it, but I think they all wanted so badly to,
do it right.
Yeah. So I think the sequel is like them.
Yeah, I really want to watch that because again, the cast, perfect. And there's a reason Christina Ricci was given a bigger role in the second one.
She in that first one is the one laugh that all of us laughed. We were watching it with the Grussels who live with us. That was the one, her line where she's like, hop in this electric chair, Pugsley, we're going to play a game. And he's like, what's the game? And she's like, is there a God? And that was just like her delivery is really, so that good. Was an unexpected actual laugh. And besides that,
yeah,
no.
And same hand actor as Idle Hands, as I mentioned in the kill count.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's actually. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you.
I love
Thing
it.
is actually played by
amazing
the guy who did it.
Wow, he
was a magician who was at the Magic Castle in L.A.
Really?
Yeah, Christopher
that's why
Hart, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a niche thing.
That was pretty much it. He didn't really do other stuff, but very cool that he got to do that.
Yeah.
After that, Evil Speak.
Holy fuck, Evil Speak.
That one I've been meaning to watch for a long time.
Yes, yeah, starring Clint Howard. Clint Howard playing a bullied kid at a military academy who summons the devil through a computer. Amazing premise.
Early 80s computer.
Or not even the devil. He summons, is it Esteban or whatever? Esteban. Yeah, what to say about Evil Speak? There's a very cute dog in it. The puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forget what he names the dog, but there's a very cute puppy in it.
Clint Howard is a little baby.
Little
was he,
baby
21
in this
or something?
movie.
Real young.
Yeah. Did you see he went as Ice Cream Man this year for Halloween?
Yeah, I know. He's still with the same prop.
He had
that.
It's funny because when we did our panel with David Naughton, David said he had that prop at his house, the ice cream cone of his head. He was like, I have that.
Oh, yeah?
And he's friends with Clint because he was joking, like, we should just call him during the thing.
Oh, shit.
So I have to wonder if that jogged, like, oh, yeah, I have this thing at my house. And he and Clint got together and dug that thing out of wherever the fuck it was in storage. I want to think we were at least a little bit responsible.
Evil Speak, I'm having a hard time remembering.
The end of Evil Speak, incredible. It gave me the vibes of the end of the Suspiria remake.
Oh, yeah, it kind of does.
It is Clint Howard floating around, possessed by the devil, just fucking murdering all of his
bullies.
His bullies.
Is it a military academy?
It's like a Christian military. Is it?
I think it's a military academy.
It's very. Yeah, they all have uniforms and it's very. Yeah. The end, I think, is worth the build up.
It's a little slow.
It's a movie. I always love a horror movie where whenever a woman comes on screen, and because it's so low budget that you can, I don't know what it is, but you can tell, like, as soon as a woman comes on screen, I'm like, we're gonna see her tits. Like, I know this woman is cast so we can see her tits. And like, oh, the secretary for this school is like really randomly hot.
Yeah.
We're gonna see her
Cut
tits
to her
later.
apartment, her getting in the shower.
It's just one of those movies, which is
it's been on my list since because Joe Bob did a thing on Ice Cream Man and he had Clint. This was in the 90s, or like late 90s.
That was like Joe
2000s.
Bob's like after school special.
Yeah, it was like a school
thing,
and he mentioned Evil Speak, and so I was like, oh, what's this? A horror movie starring Clint Howard?
It's a little slow, as a lot of kind of weird low budget horror can be, but I had a good
definitely
time.
If you're into 80s offbeat
satanic panic shit,
yeah, check it out. It's fun.
I mean, just the concept of summoning the devil through an old like DOS style computer is extremely funny.
Next up is Freaky. We got an advanced screening, and we won't give spoilers in this.
Okay,
it's not even out
this
yet.
isn't out yet.
But we are allowed to review it. I just looked. The review embargo was lifted.
We had to check, make sure we weren't going to get in trouble.
Yes, because they hooked us up, and I also, this comes out tomorrow. Might as well tell y'all that on Sunday I have What's Your Favorite Scary Movie with Catherine Newton.
That's so cool.
Star of Freaky. And she actually picked Jennifer's Body, so you'll hear us talk about Jennifer's Body and Freaky and how they relate, which is fun.
Yeah.
Freaky from Christopher Landon, who brought us Happy Death Day and its sequel. Before that, the Paranormal Activity sequels. I've briefly spoken to him on the red carpet for the Happy Death Day sequel, and dude, he is a cool guy, and his cast and crew love him.
Yeah.
And they love working with him, and they all say that it's a great time, and it seems like it on Freaky, too.
This is a fun movie.
Yeah, whereas Happy Death Day was the Groundhog's Day slasher, Freaky
Friday
is the Freaky Friday slasher. But one notable difference is that Happy Death Day and its sequel are PG-13. This one is a hard R, and they're for the gore.
The gore is
It's
pretty.
got some fucking
some
cool
gore,
kills,
yeah.
man. Which is great to see because, Happy Death Day I love, and I don't think the PG-13 really ruin it. I think it's fine.
No, it's
But this benefits from having that R because those kills.
You have to, especially if the whole setup is Vince Vaughn is this killer. You got to make him totally fucked up.
Yeah.
And it delivers on that front for sure.
Definitely.
I like there's moments that are very cute too. Like it's overall like really sweet, and
both Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton are excellent playing
good.
The character that is inhabiting their body.
Yeah.
Him as like a high school girl and her as a deranged killer are both so fucking good.
There's stuff in this that Vince Vaughn does with this character concerning like her emotional development. That I was really impressed by. He plays it so sincerely and not as a joke. And I won't spoil like what it is.
Are you talking about like the scene in the car?
Yes.
That is such an interesting.
There's
and
a scene with Vince Vaughn in the backseat of a car with another character that I was really impressed by. That could easily be played as a joke, a whole like gag. But this plays it so sincerely and sweetly that is like really nice.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job.
That scene was like, I don't think I've seen something like that before.
No, it's very bizarre,
so good.
but I loved that.
I will say I didn't like it as much as Happy Death Day, which I felt was like a really solid, tight script.
Yeah.
This one felt a little less focused.
Yeah.
And some of the, like the gay best friend, some of his dialogue didn't really work for me. It was a little too trying to be funny.
There's a lot. Sure.
But also there's emotional stuff with, is it her mom?
Yeah.
That I think is just a lesser version of the stuff in Happy Death Day, which makes me fucking cry when I watch that movie.
Yeah.
It's
like, still very sweet here,
but it's still a very sweet movie. It's pretty funny, and the fucking gore is fantastic.
So I give it recommend.
I recommend it.
Check it out. It's good.
Yeah. If you liked Happy Death Day but wished it was a little bit more gory, here you go. Because this is a slasher. And the kills are great.
I'm
man.
just thinking about one in particular that was pretty special. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what the wood shop.
Yeah,
for sure. That one,
It's
golden
a good
chainsaw
one, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's one that I'll probably cover right away on the kill count when it comes out because it's a good kill count movie. Last one. Do you remember?
Nope.
Apostle.
Oh my God, Apostle, because that was my pick.
Lucy was in it. Oh yeah, we went back and forth with our picks. Like one night.
Yeah.
One of us would
Okay.
pick
Yeah.
one,
Lucy Boynton also an Apostle. I mostly picked Apostle because I really like Dan Stevens, and I saw that this was a movie that takes place at like turn of the century. So I was like, cool. Whatever it is, it's got some costumes. It's got Dan Stevens. I'll just pick this one. This was a very unexpected, this was a nice little treat, little surprise. I didn't know what to expect going into this one, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's another unique one.
Yeah, which is weird because it is so clearly inspired by The Wicker Man, the original, and so right. I saw some reviews saying it was too closely, but for me, I think it was telling a completely different story. The things it's focusing on are totally different than Wicker Man. The similarity is that it's like island cult that in Wicker Man, is he going there to rescue someone? Is it the same kind of setup? So he's looking for a missing girl. Yeah,
so not unique in that regard, but as far as what it does with supernatural elements that I didn't expect to happen, that took me by surprise. Another one that is surprisingly gory.
It's disgusting. And a lot of it is not even technically stuff you see.
Not necessarily.
But it still really affected me.
Hard to watch.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, this movie is another one that just ramps up at the end. This might also feel like a slow burn to some, which I enjoyed in this case. I liked the world that it was setting up, and
I like the villains and the kind of shades of the characters have different shades to them, because what's the main guy?
Michael Sheen.
Yeah, Michael Sheen you think is the big bad.
The big bad, for sure, yeah.
He's got some more shading to him more than
and this
expect.
also just has Michael Sheen being...
He was really good.
Just eating the scenery. It's good. Yeah. I highly recommend this one.
Yeah, if you're down with period stuff and cult stuff and you want to see some gore, it's got it all.
Yeah.
This one I think is it 220?
It's long. This one's long, but I didn't mind it.
No.
For this. This one I was enthralled the entire time.
Yeah, a bunch of these movies even scare me. I think could shave off 10 minutes.
Yes, this one I was enjoying the entire time.
I think
I was very engrossed, and it's genuinely creepy. And Dan Stevens is just so fucking good in everything.
Yeah, he's so cool, man.
He can look when he wants to look crazy, he's very good at it. This one. He's crazed. This is a man on the brink going to this island to rescue someone, and his eyes in a horror movie are just red and he's addicted to, I'm guessing, opium.
That's right. Yeah, he's
it is really special. Yeah, loved it. Unexpected flick. I don't know. I just kind of picked it and was all right, haven't seen it. It's supposed to be all right.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And then kill count work got too much and you had a surgery.
Yep. And then my doctor's hey,
movies.
come get the surgery. I was on the waiting list for months. So I was all right, why not?
Yeah.
I'm off anyway.
So that was our lightning round review session for movies that we watched in October. Mm-hmm. Hope that was enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah. So coming up this month, not next week, but I believe the week after, we are going to be talking about the original Godzilla movie. We're finally doing a Godzilla movie. We're going to have a special guest on for that one, so stay tuned.
I'm glad that we have a guest.
I am too, dude.
And I'm glad that the podcast is your thing so that I don't feel all this pressure. I will sit there and watch the movie.
Well, that's why we're having an expert come in to talk to us about Godzilla. So, yeah.
I will make some jokes.
Yeah.
Probably some kaiju puns. I'll start working on those. Yeah. That'll be my job.
Yeah. But besides that, I don't quite know what's in store for the rest of the month and rest of the year. So
yeah, we'll work it out. Like we said, we're going to be tinkering with the new set.
Yeah.
You'll hear this audio in a few, and we'll determine how much sound acoustic foam we should be putting up in this big ass room.
Yeah.
But it'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're back. Hope you're all glad we're back. I know a lot of people have been missing the podcast.
I know. I felt so bad, but I'm glad we're back too. Hopefully you didn't all abandon the podcast after being gone for a month. That was my fear. Is like everyone's gonna forget it exists.
No, people have been waiting.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back next week. Oh yeah, follow Dead Meat on social media at Dead Meat James on Twitter and Instagram. Dead Meat James.
I'm at Carebex, CREBCC on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want merch, deadmeatstore.com.
Yep. And email deadmeatpod@gmail.com as you see fit. We'll be back next week, but until then, I'm James.
I'm Chelsea.
And this has been the Dead Meat Podcast.